It is opening day at Dr. Pepper Ballpark, and we're joined by the new skipper of the Frisco RoughRiders, Jason Wood, in his first year at the helm. And Jason, it's opening day, always a special day. I know that you and the players are ready to get out there and play games that count.
Yes, I mean, without a doubt, it's finally here. It's been a long spring, and I think not only myself, but each and every one of these players are ready to get this thing rolling. And for me, it's the 24th opening day, 23rd, 24th opening day for myself, and you still got those butterflies, whether it be your first or your 24th. So ready to get rolling today. Excited about it. Excited about this ball club. Excited about this league. Excited about this great town and the fan support we're going to have this year. So hopefully looking for a good season. You
mentioned being new to the town. What have been your impressions of Frisco, here at the DFW area, and Dr. Pepper Ballpark since you got here a few days ago?
Just a live, exciting town with a ton of things to do. You've got great shopping. Everywhere I turn, it seems like I run into a new restaurant of some sort. I know the school districts are quality school districts here. The athletics are really good. Just the town itself being clean and safe is something that will make it nice for not only myself and my family to visit this summer.
RoughRiders fans grew accustomed to seeing Steve Buechele here in the dugout over the last 4 seasons. Give us an idea as to the type of manager that you want to be. You've had success down in Myrtle Beach for the last 3 years. What is your philosophy or style as a skipper?
I think for the most part you'll see a lot of similarities between Boo and myself. Pretty even keel type manager. I let my guys excel on the field and do the best they possibly can for the first 7 innings, and then I don't necessarily say I like to take over from the 7th inning on, but if I have to put the game into my hands and put on some bunts or some bunt plays, I like to take control of that for the most part. It's just about getting these guys prepared day in and day out and letting them play the game. But, come time down at the end of the game when some decisions need to be made, I'll be there for that and right on top of it.
Was there any manager or managers that you were exposed to that kind of led to that style or philosophy?
I think just the experience I had playing under Joe Girardi in 06, even though it was only for a month and a half, I just sat back and watched. I spent a lot of time on the bench and just kind of, when I had time, I picked his brain. And Joe was a class act, a true professional. Really supported and stuck by his players. Even though he had a little bit of turmoil that was going on in the front office, he was always behind his players 100%. And I took that and as I started this game, I knew as a fact I was going to always be back behind my players, and that's something that I'll always do.
We're visiting with new RoughRiders manager Jason Wood. Jason, when you're in spring training, we talked a little bit about it back in Surprise. You don't really get your full group until maybe the very last day or so, if at all, during spring training. You've had them here for a couple of exhibition games. You've run through a couple of practices with them. What are your impressions of this roster and the type of group that you have here to start the season?
I'm really excited about this roster. I mean, starting with a bullpen, I think we've got a group of guys down there in the bullpen that any one of those guys down there, if need be, could close a ball game. You've got some length in some of those guys. Nice to have 3 left-handers in that bullpen. Some can fit into the starting role if need be. So that first and foremost is exciting. The starting pitching is young, but the good thing about it is some of these guys in the Eichhoffs and the Jacksons have had experience at this AA level, so they know what it takes to get the job done here. Throw in an Alec Asher, who did a really good job for me last year in Myrtle Beach. Should be very exciting. And position player-wise, got a little bit of seniority out there with Jordan Brown, who's played at the big league level, who's spent a lot of time in AAA. Fortunate to have him here for the time being. And you got a Smolinski, who's a guy that's also played in AAA, plays everywhere in the outfield. Those 2 guys, sort of the middle of the lineup, will be able to protect the Odors and the Sardineses, who should be the table setters for us. You get down to the bottom of the lineup, you got a very active catching group in Talese and Cantwell. Both can handle the bat pretty well. And then you've got Trevor Adams, who plays the corners, and Rua, who's playing third base. One guy that really excites me is making a position change this year. Has been a third baseman for most of his short career in professional baseball, is Drew Robinson, who swung the bat very well all spring training. Is making this adjustment to play right field now. I think he's comfortable out there. So we should see some good things out of Drew this year and amongst the other kids as well.
Yeah, among those things that Drew's done, he hit a couple of home runs, one to right, one to left in the exhibition games. Any surprises during camp? Players that maybe you saw them after not seeing them for 5-6 months, and they surprise you physically or by their performance?
Like we just spoke on, Drew Robinson was one that really stood out. I think his performance at the plate during spring training and towards the end of last year, I've said all along he's probably one of our better hitters in this organization, and He's got a knack to get on base. He's got a good eye at the plate. His strikeout to walk percentage or ratio are pretty good. So he's one that has surprised me. And then, I like the Patrick Cantwell, and he's done a very good job this year. Did a good job last year. He's starting to grow up a little bit and swing the bat a little bit better. But up and down the lineup, a lot of these guys, hopefully each and every one of them do some surprising things for me.
Every year on opening day, I ask the manager just for a little insight as to why the opening day starting pitcher is getting that start. Well, really no mystery as it for tonight. Matt Harrison gets the start as he's trying to get back to the big leagues at some point this month. It's a little bit of a unique situation to have a big league rehabber on the mound for opening day. How do you and Jeff plan to handle him tonight? I know he'll be limited in terms of the length of his start tonight, but how have you guys talked about strategizing how to work with Matt tonight?
Yeah, I think Matt is up for right around 60 pitch limit tonight, and we'll just let Matt go out and do his thing. He's working his way back, and we should see him for a few starts here, and hopefully gets right on track, builds up his stamina, and gets ready for his appearance in the big leagues. But for the time being, to have Matt in the clubhouse and to have him around will be something that we'll treasure and do the best we possibly can. Obviously locality and where we're at, an appearance to the big league club has a lot to do with that. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope Matt is looking forward to it as well, and get his work in and hopefully come out on the winning side.
Finally, you mentioned almost a quarter century of opening days worth of experience that you have. Which one stands out more than any others? What's your favorite opening day memory?
Probably my second opening day, 1999, Tiger Stadium. The last year that Tiger Stadium was in existence was something that I really treasured. I was able to play in that ballpark, and all the history that's gone on at Tiger Stadium has been something great. Even the fact that I was on the DL for the first 2 weeks of the season, just to be a part of opening day at Tiger Stadium last season was something that I'll never forget.
I can only imagine. It must have been an awesome experience. Well, Jason, it's great to have you here in Frisco. I'm really looking forward to seeing this team and talking with you throughout the season about some baseball.
All right, Alex, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
That's new RoughRiders manager Jason Wood. We'll come back right after this on the Frisco RoughRiders Baseball Network.